Currently listed at 11.5 to 34 million pounds at the start of the game, I have called Aster Vranckx one of the greatest names in all of world football. And while his name most likely won't change in the next 10 years, his stats definitely will. So let's take a quick look at Aster Vranckx. Vranckx is a Belgian-born midfielder, having started his career in 2018 with KV Mechelen. And after a couple of years there, 43 appearances, 5 goals, he moved his way to Wolfsburg in 2021 and already has 24 appearances under his belt before securing a loan move to AC Milan for 22-23 season. Now, that is a team I am using in my current save on my other channel, so go check that out when you get a chance. But he's an interesting choice. There's so many midfielders on that team that I'm really not sure why Milan decided to go for him, especially at 19 years old. He's got some good stats. He's not definitely the worst midfielder AC Milan has. However, he's so low in the pecking order. Was he really not going to get any game time at Wolfsburg? That was the question I had. But oh well, he did get injured a little, but back in full fitness. He's still not going to get a lot of game time, so we're going to have to see why he was loaned in the first place and what's happening with him. But as you can see, he does have some good stats. He's got great work rate, great determination. He's not the paciest midfielder ever. Natural fitness at 14 is good. Tackling and technique is great at 14. Aggression 15. Teamwork at 15 is fantastic. Everything else does need to bump up a little. Again, he is 19. He is going to grow. There's no question about that. Now, let's see how the next 10 years treats him. Ladies and gentlemen, the year is 2034. I've got an extra year past the 10-year mark. So 11 years into the future, this Belgian Aster Vranckx is 31 years old. I don't know what happened. If you look at his stats, he has not grown at all. And something has happened in his career that has absolutely stalled him out. If you look at his career stats, wow, the teams he has gone to. So from Wolfsburg, after going from KV Mechelen for $7.5 million, loan moved to Milan, came back to Wolfsburg for the 23-24 season, made one single appearance before being sold off to Deportivo Toluca in Mexico for $15.5 million. A couple of years later, off to AS Monaco for $10.75. He actually did fairly well in the Mexican league. You can see a couple of sets, 7.2. Very few goals but for a midfielder, okay, as long as he's creating the chances. But 2 years in Monaco, shipped off to Atletico Madrid. After 12 appearances, then 9 appearances. I'm not sure why that happened. 7.75 million. 2 years later, shipped off to Southampton for 16 million, where he made a couple of good seasons, not great in terms of average rating, and goal-wise, definitely not. But then Southampton 2 years after, really not doing much. I would expect injuries, but there's not a whole lot here. So a major one for 2 months with a fractured lower leg in 2032. Another major one, torn wrist ligaments in 2030, out for 5 weeks. But everything else, a minor pulled groin for 7 days, kicking the ball, and then a tight hamstring sprinting for 3 days in 2033, both of them. It doesn't look like he's all that injury prone. So I am not really sure why his career stats have just completely stalled out at some point. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. Now, granted, as I usually say, these players, these wonder kids that I cover, all have at least a potential that they can reach of 150 or more. Now, what that means, though, it doesn't mean that they're going to reach that potential. It all depends on how they're nurtured, injury proneness, the coach's view of them, if anything, and how much game time they get. So if they're not getting a lot of game time, their progress is hampered a bit, and they probably won't see their full potential. So something has happened in this dude's career that has just stalled out. At 31 years of age, you're not expecting anything to grow very much from here. He is contracted to Southampton, but rated at 0, so his contract ends 2034. So his contract is out in a month. But he is wanted by a couple of teams. It looks like he's going to be let go. It's hard for me to see people you expect careers to flourish I mean, they're labeled as wonder kids, so you expect them to absolutely have the brightest careers ahead of them, and then they just completely fizzle out. But if we look at the career milestones, you could see a lot of selling. Season best 11 for Deportivo Toluca. He did a pretty good job, I guess, for them. A couple years, bought by Monaco. Coup de France winners. Oh, they Mexican First Division opening stage champions. Coup de France winners, bought by Atletico. Supercopa de España winners. Named in Atletico de Madrid's best 11, then bought by Southampton. Named in Southampton's best 11 for 3 years running. Then finally the first international cap against San Marino at age 30. Wow. So yeah, his career just fizzled out somewhere down the line. Yeah, so if we look at his biography, he is a well-known name for soccer fans across Europe and North America. I guess that's just basically for playing in Mexico and then across Europe. So during his time with Deportivo Toluca, Belgian under-23s and Belgian under-21s, he's lifted the Mexican Champions League trophy in 25, gold at the Olympic Games in 24, Europa Championship under-21s in 25, Mexican First Division closing stage in 25, and the First Division opening stage in 26. I don't know the Mexican League at all, so I'm sorry I don't know what that means. In 26-27, he joined the association, well, basically Monaco, and yeah, he's lifted a lot of trophies, I will say. If we scroll down there, you Mexican Champions Trophy, Supercopa de España, Tim Cup with Milan in 2023, which is funny because my Milan save are there 2 Tim Cups? We just did the Coppa Italia but it's mid 23. It's not even it's just after December right now, so I don't know why this one. It says in his milestones that it was right there, Tim Cup's 5/24, so May 24th of 23. But along with the Tim Cup, Coupe de France, Olympic Games, UEFA European Championship under-21s, Mexican First Division closing stage, then opening stage. He has also earned recognition with the soccer community for his achievements, named Belgian Young Player of the Year runner-up and shortlisted for Mexican Rookie of the Season. So he's had some interesting highlights. His career hasn't done very well at all. This is another one where I would love to see if someone has picked him up and has played him a lot in their career saves. Please let us know in the comments below what you thought of him. Is he any good? I have not used him in my Milan save very much because Milan is stacked with midfielders who are, I won't say he's the worst, but he's certainly not the best. He's not Tonali or Benacer. So I don't know why they picked him up. I would love to read someone say, I picked him up and he's been fantastic ever since. Doesn't seem to be injury prone. I don't know. And I want to say his one short-term plan is to be on vacation. I love that. He is determined to prove his worth to the team, flattered by the interest being shown in him, feels Fabio Vieira is a vital part of the team. So, that's Aster Vranckx, the best name in European football right now that I can remember, has not had the career that I would have expected of him. So, but anyway, that is it for me. Cephine FM for the Football Manager blog channel and Aster Vranckx. Love that name. We will talk to you later. Thanks again, as always. Take care and enjoy.